number one thing you have to sacrifice, the number one thing all people have to sacrifice for the most part, especially millennials and Gen Zs, listen up. If you can sacrifice this, I can guarantee you success. Because they talk about capitalist systems and structures that they don't agree with, but then never talk about technology that allows us to build a parallel world where we don't need them. Stop complaining about them. They doing what they supposed to do. Matter of fact, I want them to do more of it. So it forces us to do for self. I do very constructive criticism sometime and critical analysis of people. You should be able to work with me directly after that. If we that emotional where a person can't say nothing, I don't want to rock with you anyway, because you're a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? If somebody say something about me, I'm not taking that emotional, I don't hate this person, I never want to talk to you again. That's that emotional weird stuff that we do in a culture white men don't do. Elon Musk and Donald Trump were just enemies, now they're making billions together. You know what I'm saying? He said this man Elon will get on his knees and do whatever I said he wanted him to do. He tweeted that out after he done visited this man. Now, Elon is the Doge at this point in time, because if the leaders can't get together who have influence over the people, then how the hell how you go get in front of the people and say we ain't got no unity? Fighting for people that ain't fighting for themselves is a losing battle. So I want to fight for people that's fighting for themselves. You know what I mean? I want to fight for the winners, not the losers. We are warriors. We come from a place of pride and victory and power, because that's who our ancestors was. And we ain't got that much time, damn it, to keep goddamn sitting around and acting like the world ain't shifting and changing, because these white men are very smart, and I respect the fact that they going out there building their own and saying that we gonna do this for our people. I disrespect the fact that we got so many black men with power and money and influence, but they scared to death. Straight up. Push past those feelings and he think about his vision. He think about his will, his plan, his ideas and shit. He execute. That's man.
If it's a problem, it's a solution.
That's not acceptable for men to do.
I'm building, I'm writing down my goals, and I'm executing, I'm on my mission, tunnel vision.
I like the setting of
Man to man.
Man, it's just like a safe space to just speak freely upon everything.
Like, we talk like men.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of the Man to Man podcast, where we talk as guys. I'm your host, Steve Jones, and I'm here with none other than Mr. 19 Keys in the flesh, man. First of all, I know we super late. Happy New Year and all of that good stuff, because we
cut it out, bro. It's too late. If it's too late, it's too late. Our New Year's, we gotta wait till spring to say Happy New Year's.
I'm greeting my people, man. How y'all been, man? Because we've been super duper busy.
That's like watching, you come to the party late, everybody leaving out, talking about what's up, y'all, the party over.
I got Southern hospitality.
Every month is like a year now.
It feels like
you feel me?
Because within this last month or two, been gone.
January is
been a lot of shit going on.
January felt a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? February felt like this will never end. It felt like the longest Black History Month we ever had.
And I don't even remember what I did on New Year's.
God damn. But now what we really need to talk about, right, is this freestyle. Let's just get straight into it.
First and old fashioned. First, before we get into that, how you feeling right now in this moment?
I feel good, man. That freestyle was really good. And the way people respond to it has been great.
Are you talking about the freestyle you were scared to do at first?
Nah, I wasn't scared to do nothing.
I think you was let's give the people context.
All right, so let me give you some game.
Hold on, wait. Let's give these people context.
No, they already got everybody singing.
We talking about the Sway freestyle.
5 Fingers of Death on Sway, which is one of the hardest freestyles you can do on the planet Earth. The planet Earth.
I'm actually proud of you though, but I ain't gonna even say I'm proud of you. I actually knew that you can pull this off, so I had to put the bug in Sway. They're like, man, go on play the beats and just throw words at him and freestyle. And the first word he threw at you was Afro-futuristic.
Yeah. You know what's funny though is it goes into, we did an episode on flow, right? Yeah. And it's a double entendre of flow. It's like being in flow state, right? But when people tell you like you flowing, it's because you're doing something difficult but you relaxed, right? So in that moment, and we just did the whole interview, and he talking about you went in the hyenas. I'm like, oh snap, he done dropped the Jay Dilla beat on me, and I said, well, I'm here. You feel me? And in that moment, I just got comfortable in my seat. I took a sip of my Supermind coffee. And I said, whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be. You feel me? And if you learn how to do that, it's like The difficulty is like a negative charge, and the relax is like a positive charge. In between that is what creates flow. It creates a charge and energy, right? And so it's like if you can master that in life, when communicating, working, whatever it's doing, you want to figure out getting to that state where this is kind of difficult, but I also have the confidence and the skill set to achieve it, right? So you relax into that moment. And what I've been on recently is how to put in less effort to get more results, right?
I
How to
like
make
that.
everything easy,
I like that.
right? And so I'm not trying hard anymore, right? When you try hard, you die hard, what they say. You feel me?
I actually believe every piece that you just said. And in the interview when you was doing the sway, I was sitting back reflecting, sitting on the side of a Mechi, and in my mind I was like, damn, this the second time we came, you know what I'm saying, did the sway in the morning, just did the Breakfast Club, the Mad Hoffa again, and it's the same team. We
Yeah.
putting in the work, you hear me? But everybody been in the flow, making sure that we get there, making sure we save ourselves
Yeah.
and end up in that position. Like it wasn't just by accident.
And that's why, just putting that whole thing on it, like that's how you make quantum leaps. Like if you want to take where you are right now and you want to go to a whole nother level by the end of this year, don't try too hard. You know what I mean? Because if it fits for you, you feel me? It's almost that thing. It's like you trying to oversell somebody something. They know you're selling. You feel me? They're either going to force you to work even hard because they know you selling, so now they want to see if you're the best seller in the world. So now you got to sweat to get them to sell. Or you can relax into it with the confidence that this is already sold.
Give you a perfect example. Speaking of Save Yourself, we just recently came off the, you know what I'm saying, the first show for the Save Yourself tour in New York. It was sold out. And the way we strategically did it, when I was posting all of the, you know what I'm saying, the flyers for the tour or not, we ain't put no special guests on there, no celebrities or nothing. Cause we ain't want people to buy the tickets based on who gonna be there, the celebrities. And it
And
ended
I
up being a
think that's
sold out event. And they got something they ain't never expect in a million years to happen.
and that goes to it again. If I didn't try hard on that.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't want it to sell. I already knew it was. It was already sold out as soon as we put it out there. And the beauty of it, having an event like that with no headliners, you
Yeah.
feel me? No special guests on the flyer. You get to have your core base show up, your real supporters. You feel me? I asked a lot of different people to show up. You feel me? As far as peers and friends, everybody didn't. That's fine. But that's again, it's another one of those tests. Like you gonna show up or you're not. I'm not tripping. I'm not sweating on nothing, and it's not dependent on your presence.
Man, shout out to the high level team. First of all, for context, we real life had the Save Yourself show kick off on Super Bowl weekend. And it was a sold out
In
show
fashion,
doing
in Fashion
education.
Week.
It was fashion week going on and all that in New York. And people pulled up for the education instead of the entertainment. I want to give you a pat. I ain't gonna pat you on the back, but that's just
Yeah, I
like a
don't need no
figure
pat
of
on the
speech.
back.
You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
But I salute to the guys, man. Real
Salute.
talk. And shout out to all the guys that pulled up on
Now,
us. AJ
now,
McQueen, Mike Rashid, EYL,
yeah.
everybody.
Hold on, we got my brother Shamik Moore, you know what I mean? AKA
yeah.
Black Spider-Man
Ryan
showed
Leslie
up.
pulled up.
Ryan Leslie showed up, you feel me? Shout out to Superphone, when you texting me, I'm texting back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My brothers from EYL gave away a book, you feel me? My brothers Acre Boys gave away an acre of land to a young lady,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal, unheard of. We giving away ownership. My sister Erica Ford, you know what I'm saying? She came there with her book, the Peace
Jordan
Doctors
booked up.
Playbook. You feel me?
Math Hoffa.
AJ McQueen God Body Weekend this weekend in Houston. Make sure you can show up. Math Hoffa showed up, of
Yeah.
course. We did his show. I gave him one of my best interviews ever. Go watch that. Come on now, give me some more names. Lloyd Strayhorn, Mr. Numbers, you know what I'm saying? The numbers in you, year of the 9. He gives a breakdown. If you want to know mathematically where you align with the divine presence of the universe, utilizing the instrument of the numbers, man, that's the astrophysicist of the numerological existence. You know what I'm talking about? He was in the building. Kelly Bowman, Dr. Chevy daughter that showed up showing love with presence and presence. You know what I'm talking about? It was magnificent. You feel me?
it was
And
bad,
then, of
though, for
course,
sure.
our esteemed guest, Mr. Jaylen Brown, MVP of the NBA. You feel me? Mr. Black Wall Street, man. He showed up and gave a phenomenal interview. The beauty of that moment is because the show sold out before I went on the press run, right? Even we shot with like one episode with Kev, but that didn't come out till afterwards. And the beauty of that is like, man, sometimes these things are hard to do in the sense that if people don't know they happen and if you don't hype a thing up, you feel me? And I was talking with my brother Kenny Burns about this. He was like, how do you feel about this age of like things have to be like polarized and hyped up and like fake and all of this to get the attention to try to convert, you feel me? And he grew up in an age of presentation where things were always presented correctly in a nice and a right manner.
Yeah.
And, you know, the way I look at all these things is you have to find a way to authentically be you, but then cut through. And I think trying too hard is where you always go find this false reality, right? Whether it's freestyling because you literally overthinking, there's something that you can do very well, but in that moment, you're crossing brain wires of trying versus doing, right? And then it's the social media of you trying to become what you think people need you to be, right? Instead of just being yourself and allowing yourself to be enough to cut through. Because authenticity is the highest vibration and frequency in the universe. Just being you, right? And that's why it goes to that whole thing. How hard do you have to try to be yourself? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Like, if you can just double down on being you and ease into being yourself, and that requires a level of courage so that you don't become fearful and that changes your behavior. You feel me? You don't become insecure and that changes your behavior. Like, doubling down on being you, you go find yourself making major leaps. That requires a confidence. I call somebody and I want to get a deal done. Am I sweating, super trying hard? No. I'm going to do what I need to do in the moment of flow, but it's already done. You know what I'm saying? It's already called into existence if it's mine. You feel me? And it's not saying that hard work won't work, but it's saying that if you already put in the hard work, then let that work that you've put in work for you and be confident on top of that. You feel me? And so I think that's going into this year. It's a year of flow, especially in the age of
automation,
distraction.
Distraction.
That's the biggest thing is distraction. Like I said it earlier, if you want to make a change in your life right now, the number one thing you have to sacrifice, the number one thing all people have to sacrifice for the most part, especially millennials and Gen Zs, listen up. If you can sacrifice this, I can guarantee you success. And if you can sacrifice scrolling, and you can sacrifice death scrolling, right? And transfer that over to goals or learning, particularly artificial intelligence, over the next 365 days, I can guarantee that you will have some success making up to 6 figures in a skill set that is useful and valuable into the world. Just think about that. You don't have to give up nothing else. The time that you spend scrolling, if you spend that learning AI, you will win. That's it. Now you can that's transferable to crypto. You know what I'm saying? That's transferable to blockchain. That's transferable to a multitude of things. But give up death scrolling for learning AI. So scrolls to goals. It's up to you. I ain't gonna force you to do it.
Because they just put out a new study that smartphones is causing hallucination, aggression, and detachment in teens. Detachment from reality in teens.
Yeah, these young is, first of all, you need to get back outside and go ask a young girl for her number. You know what I'm saying? You gotta step your game up. Stop all of this fake risk.
Oh, they don't do that no more?
No, they don't be doing it for real. No, they on come on, they on Instagram with the whoopty wops.
I thought that was like
they became socially inept. It's only a few young alphas out there that still be out there, you feel me, putting their reps in, learning how to talk to people in social settings. And that's what I'm really getting to. Because public speaking, right, is the number one fear that people have. Above all fears. Getting caught in a public speaking setting, right? Yeah. I learned to be a great public speaker. Right, number one, multitude of different things. You know, when I was young, I used to speak at Soul Beat and things of that nature and speak on stages when I was a kid. But number two, my older brother forced me to go talk to girls, get their numbers, go into situations where I was obviously nervous and I still pushed past it. And that allowed me to decrease the anxiety and step forward in situations that normally, you feel me, will make other men, you feel me, like cower and quiver. So I think that young men need to go out there again. And I'm just using this as an example, you feel me, as a low level example. But yeah, man, get out there and talk to young ladies. You feel me? Learn how to speak. This is a great way of learning how to communicate. You ain't got to actually be with them. Just get comfortable talking to and doing uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You feel me? That's where you make the most growth and change.
All right, so let's get into a couple of the topics, right? Because
We're going to get back to that freestyle, by the way.
We can get back to, we can end off with, we might give him a freestyle or something.
Well, slow down.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
That's what you might be in the flow. You never know.
I might be in the flow. You know.
All right, but check this out. So it's been a lot of chaos happening this year since this year started.
Hold on. Chaos.
Yeah, we got
Air quote.
spotted hyenas popping up in the desert after 5,000 years. We got the devilfish coming to the shoreline. We got plane crashes every single day popping up. We got wildfires happening all in California. It's just chaos everywhere. We got Trump putting people on chains, deporting them on airplanes, trying to send prisoners to other countries to be in prison for a small fee. It's just chaotic.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, what are we going through during this time? Like, is it something in the air, something in the water? Give me the 19 keys breakdown of what's happening in the world right now.
It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world.
Is it the end of the world or the end of a world?
Both. You know what I'm saying? It is the end of the world as we know it. Right? And towards the end of something is the beginning of something new, which creates clash, creates friction, creates conflict. One thing going out, something else coming in. So you're going to automatically see that friction that's happening. Then that's from a local level, right? Socially, people are going to have conflicts. There's going to be issues. People are less acceptive during this time, right? They want just their ideas to win. They don't want to hear empathy at all. They don't really care about other people's ideas and opinions. None of that stuff matters to them. This is the way I want to do it. Is it my way or gone, right? You see Trevor Noah was putting out the question, was segregation a good thing, right? And he was talking about America specifically. And he gave some great examples about, homogeny, and when you have certain places to where everybody has the same values, as I talk about it, right? The same ethnics and things of that nature, they can get along, they can build, they can grow, because they have an agreement, a communication, a code. Well, we live in a world where there's multiple codes and agreements, and different people, right, they're trying to have the same conversation, but they're talking about two different things, two different reference points. It's always going to be an issue and a clash there. So America is clashing. Globally, there's clashing, right? You see clashing in family, you see clashing in hip hop, you see clashing in the entertainment world. These are now, what is it? They're really just the first time they actually having conversations out loud and realizing, we don't agree on shit. And then the people who weren't able to have a voice, they're now voicing their thoughts and opinion and being like, it's like having a conversation between the people in the lower tier in the cooler room, you feel me? And then the bosses and the managerial staff. If they start talking out loud about what they really feel, they gonna have issues. Because the managerial staff, number one, they have a different class. You feel me? They have a different tier. They have a different job perspective and prospectus as far as what they're supposed to do. And these people are wanting your job to change.
Right.
You feel me? They want things. They want to make you uncomfortable so they can be comfortable. So the people at the bottom have the most to gain. The people at the top have the most to lose. You feel me? So the top don't want things to change. People at the bottom want everything to change. So you're going to get this clash. It has to happen.
Yeah.
So that's on a local level. Then that goes on global level, national level. You feel me? Countries are consolidating. White people are saying, we don't like immigrants. Wait. But we like white immigrants. Bring the white South Africans over here so they can farm on these lands. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they looking for a new slave class. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But they're dog whistling around the world. Elon Musk is saying that, listen, we need to protect our people from extinction. We're not making enough babies. That's what he's telling them, all right? And so he's running this playbook to where even though they own the majority, the mass majority of wealth and land and jobs, right, in production in South Africa, they're trying to make them as a class of people who is now oppressed, right? Because their goal is to run a psyop and reverse real oppressed people issues and press that upon themselves and then scapegoat and forget about who created it, right? Now they're saying that, no, look at the black South Africans. They're treating the white people bad. Not thinking about at all how they got in the condition to where their poverty rate is so big.
Right.
If these are the people that's running the country, right, and they control most of the wealth and the politics of that country, and they've done it historically, then they are the ones that drove the country into the ground. You know what I'm saying? And they are the reason that the alcohol rate for the young South Africans is so goddamn high. You know what I mean? The dropout rate, the jobless rate, the crime rate, the murder rate, the violence, the poverty, the loss of land that is going on is skyrocketing. But forget that. Let's push them as this new oppressed class of people. So I need us to pay attention because there's a lot of psychological operations that's happening right now in the world because their world is coming to an end and they're trying to save it. But it is no saving it. It's going to fall. It's going to go down. We're going to see the planes crash, spiritual, mental, and physical, because they're not built on truth. They're built on lies. When you look at the dollar, it is an S. Those S and its two pillars. Historically, right, if you want to get deep, that represents Hercules holding these pillars up. Well, these pillars is crumbling now.
What does the solar cycles got to do with all of this? Because I feel like the sun has been heating up. As you can see, it's been heating up, and everything in the world has been heating up around it. What part does the solar cycle 25 play in all of this?
Well, we're going into an age of hypercosmism, right? Where you see, Mother Tanetta gave a breakdown about how the elites are going to escape to Mars after they destroy Earth, right? We're seeing that happening right now.
Yeah.
And what we're going to see is an increase of cosmic anxiety. This cosmic anxiety happens because there are things beyond your control that we're learning about in the cosmos. Donald Trump created the Space Force, right? All these countries around the world are in a space race, number one. And so when you talk about solar cycle 25, what you're talking about is an 11-year cycle that the sun goes through, and it has been tracked, right? That the sun goes through these cycles of pushing minimum to maximum solar flares. Yeah. So they call what they call corona mass ejection, CME. It's essentially, when you look at the sun, if you look at the sun on any day, you're going to see like little black spots. Those black spots are openings in the sun. That means that the sun is sending, right, solar magnetic flares to the earth, right? So that means there's excess energy coming to the earth. So when you do studies on this, when, let's say today I got a signal that, solar maximum hit Earth, right? A corona mass injection. Corona meaning the sun, breaking down meaning crown. So that means that energy is hitting. Now, historically, it affects Earth a few days afterwards. So meaning that the heat hit you, right? But that's not when you affected. You're affected in the recovery phase.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so this is where you start to see, during those periods of time, you see heightened conflict. You see technological innovation, you see super social changes. So the earth had shifted the sun has shifted its poles, right? And we're now in between, right? Going up into the heightened period of solar maximum all the way up, I think, into July, right? 2025, we probably reached the peak of it. So you can consistently expect these changes, right? More solar magnetic radiation has effects on brain because that's beta, that's data waves, right? Delta waves, rather. Scientists have shown that it actually has an effect on the heart, increased heart rates, right? It has an effect on skin conductance. So whether you white or black, it's going to have a different effect because we have melanin. They don't. We can have increased skin conductance of radiation, and we convert that radiation differently than how they do it. So these type of things, this is cosmism. This is having cosmic awareness, right? So if we're looking at the cycles of the planet Earth, and not just the news cycle, living above that cycle and saying that, bro, I know what solar cycle we in. That solar cycle also going into the age of Aquarius, so there's a shift in the mindset, right? We're going into a completely new technological age. that means that that clash has to happen where the old world has to die out, new world has to come in. Now, could that affect technology? Could that affect planes?
Now, yeah,
Right? Could that
definitely.
affect satellites? All of those things can be true. So I think it's important to pay attention. We're going to see more events happen. And then I'll let you get to the next point you were about to say.
Now, my next point was, I'm glad that you hit all those key points, but the word that stood out to me was,
Oh, that's in my book, High Level Conversations Only.
the word that stood out to me was innovation, right? And, you know, we're in Black History Month, and it's been a lot of talk about, you know what I'm saying, Black people been upset with the DEI situation or whatnot.
Diversity, equity, inclusion.
But I want to remind y'all, since it's Black History Month, who we are as a people. You know, like you said, we got that melanin, which means if they ain't got a job for us, we are innovative. We'll create one. You know, don't forget your superpowers, man. One thing about Black people, you can put us in the most effed up situations, high-risk situations in the world, and we gonna persevere.
We resilient.
Every time, every single time. This is a known fact. So I wouldn't even like be worried about DEI, because what you was doing before they ever announced DEI, you was figuring it out. That's how I look at it. But can you get your breakdown on it? Because I seen that, you know, you had a lot of controversy about it when you did your Breakfast Club interview.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people loved it. I'm really not here to make people happy. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my job, right? I'll look for what I believe is the perspective that people need during this time to be high-level observers. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is a term that they use, right? In order to give white women and gays and then Black women and a small percentage of Black men, right, so-called opportunities, right, when it comes to diversity, equity in certain situations, and inclusion in those situations. Historically hasn't benefited Black men, so most Black men don't care as much, of course, because I don't particularly, and I'm sure some Black men have benefited out there. I don't know any. And it hasn't changed my life in any regard whatsoever, right? During the Black Lives Matter situation, they opened up a floodgate of all of that after George Floyd, which means it was a Black man's death. Our death is always being propagated, right, for other people to get more leverage off of us than us, right? And so now we are in the era, right, of the diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I even like what a lot of people say. Don't just say DEI, say diversity, equity, and inclusion. So it forces people to address with it or against it.
Right.
I will say this, that it's being propped up as this idea, and this is corporate speak, right? Because they can never actually get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Because they're going to always need those diverse consumers to purchase their products. That's like me saying I don't want to have any more white people and Mexicans on my show. All that's going to do is make them white people and Mexicans not watch. You know what I'm saying? Even though a majority of my viewers are Black anyway. So if they're saying that they don't want you to come purchase no products, they don't want you to support them, no, they have to. They have to champion these brands. The question becomes is, what's symbolic, right, and what's real? What did they actually roll away in the first place? I don't know, right? I've heard the idea that they're rolling away things, but I haven't seen the effects of that roll away yet. Then you have the boycotts. Again, I'm all for boycott. Boycott it all. Boycott all these niggas. You feel me? I don't support none of them anyway. So it really doesn't matter. Boycott them, but make sure that you use that boycott as a leverage. You feel me? If the boycott is a leverage, it's not the end goal at all. It is a part of a first step, a baby step. And we have to remind ourselves that a boycott is a very small baby step. Because what we're in now is in a phase of building our own parallel worlds, right? We all have platforms. We can use our platforms to platform more people, ideas, and things. A lot of those people, man, they go push all that boycotting with Target, but they'll never post up 19 keys. They'll never post up my page and my products. So I don't care about it. You know what I mean? I feel like we're in this age where you got to support those who support you, right? And then support each other. And a lot of those platforms, those so-called activism people that's in all these different groups, they don't invite me to their shit. So I represent a different population. I represent a population who really don't F with y'all either. And we don't have a reason to be unified unless we're going to have that conversation constructively, sit down at a round table, and we go actually get out these silos and start building together and have shared resources. Because whatever monies they get on those sides, I don't benefit it. Black men like myself don't benefit from none of that. You know what I mean? So The DEI conversation has to go into or the boycott conversation again. Boycott, then boycott. We don't buy from them, then we buy from us. We create parallel systems. I talked about decentralization, right? I talked about DAOs, where it's not one person owning, but everybody has rights in this voting situation. Why have one big corporate guy and one of people that you don't like? What about everybody having a voice? That's what a DAO is. And so that's real diversity, equity, inclusion, right? Utilizing a DAO and utilizing a blockchain, because every single politician that's black, activist that's black, right, should love decentralization, because they talk about capitalist systems and structures that they don't agree with, but then never talk about technology that allows us to build a parallel world where we don't need them. Stop complaining about them. They doing what they supposed to do. Matter of fact, I want them to do more of it. So it forces us to do for self.
What you saying is it's time for us to quit feeding into those old infrastructures and institutions and start coming over to our people, you know what I'm saying, helping building up the smaller black voices. That's basically what you're saying, right?
It's yes, and it's going to happen. There's a lot of things we're working on behind the scenes. I don't need to say everything. I don't need to get recognition on it all. You feel me? So I'm gonna let that just sit. You feel me? Once we get the wins, we get the wins.
Hey, I'm glad you said that, right? Because this is my next topic. Kendrick Lamar, he won the Grammy for Not Like Us, you know. Of course he did the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man.
Amazing performance.
Bravo.
Amazing
bravo.
performance. Amazing. But then he do his first interview.
That wasn't his first interview.
That was the first interview since the Not Like Us?
He did it before the performance. You talking about the Apple Music one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before. And then Apple Music sponsored the thing.
Sponsored the Super Bowl? What?
They sponsored the performance.
Oh, so that's why he did?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
But you talking about the one with Ebro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that beforehand. You know what I mean? So that was a part of the whole rollout.
All right, because you got to let me know something. Because I was saying, like, you know, he got one of the biggest cultural songs right now. He's talking about people not like us. And, you know, basically he just went back to Apple, put it back in the same institution. He could have just went on another platform, a black platform, and gave his first interview. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to that, you know?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's too late. I think that he can do that. But again, that's Apple. Apple sponsored the Super Bowl to give him an opportunity to be able to do the performance so that he can create the moment. And here's the thing. I did an interview with Amechi a long time ago. I said a lot of times that we kill people before they get to do the thing we want to see them do. You know what I mean? And so it's like, allow a person to do the thing that you wish they would do first. Like sometimes I don't think we appreciate how hard it is to do things, right? We think that things just pop out. Let's say Kendrick Lamar, he just went through a whole year of taking down the top rapper in the world, right? That takes a lot of mental brain capacity. You got teams on top of teams that's behind the scenes handling things, from legal teams, creative teams. Then you have to be right. Then you got a family. Then you got business. Then you got to do all these. There's a lot of mental capacity. First of all, let's take time to think about what happens behind the scenes, right? That's a whole life. You know what I'm saying? We watch it as entertainment, but that's somebody entire, like they got to brainstorm, they got to execute daily and do it well and without making mistakes. And there's always gonna be some mistakes, and it got to be super thoughtful and meaningful at the highest level. That's a lot of intentional work, right? Then you got to rest and reset and then execute again and continuing to execute at a high level. It's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of work. We look at it again as entertainment. You just pop out. But no, then you got, right, most of the songs that he performed during the Super Bowl, he owns the masters for, right? So this is a time where he get to reap the financial benefit. And we ask people to say, okay, we're tired of deaf culture and hip hop. We have an artist who represent life culture in hip hop. You feel me? He finally get the moment. So we have to let the moment breathe for a second. You feel me? Because how long has Drake has been the top 16, 20 years? How long Drake has been top guy?
It don't matter. But what I'm saying, you saying let it breathe for a moment, right? But you know, we in a like fast consumption culture right now, right? And I feel like, I'm just going on record and say, I feel like a lot of the West Coast artists dropped the ball because Kendrick Lamar gave everybody an opportunity and nobody followed up with music afterwards, drop nothing after that. Nobody dropped no hits after that. None of that. Y'all dropped the ball. And Kendrick can't do it all by himself. That's how I feel, me personally.
Well, I'm gonna take that statement as a personal challenge too, or everybody should challenge
You even
themselves.
pushed your album back.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna take that as a challenge. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that statement or what you said, because I think everybody should take that as a challenge. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been West Coast artists. You got Doechii, you know what I'm saying? You got Blue Lips, you feel me? You got Tyler the Creator, you know what I mean? Like, they all drop bangers. Then you got Absol dropped another banger on you. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So don't act like West Coast AK was. He ain't know I knew all that. He ain't know I knew all that. He ain't know I knew all that. You feel me? Stop it. Don't play with him like that. He ain't know I knew all that.
Album, though, man?
Yeah.
What you waiting on, man?
You know what I'm saying? Even the Mexican dude, he dropped a new song. I seen what's his name? Lefty Gun Play. You got that?
That's Doechii, right? She don't want
Yeah, I mean, everybody can't chart all at once. What you think? It's just a magic switch you just turn on?
I got to hate the polarizing
Coast
one, because you know I'm on the West Coast.
No,
I'm outnumbered, and all they do everywhere I go is Kendrick.
Look. Hip hop been first of all, relax. That just started. Hip hop been a psyop for a long. Hip hop been a psyop for a long time, right? Even Punch hit me, and he was like, "Yeah, you right. It's a psyop." You know what I'm saying? It's been a psyop. So what I'm saying is, it's ours and theirs though, and it's a clash. Now with him having 100 million monthly listeners, to me that's a win. Why? Because if we're exporting that to the world, now they're looking at Drake as a representation of Black American spirit and intelligence. That's a good thing, right? This is what we always wanted to have, this dominant frequency going out there that's a better representation of us. Did I say Drake? And you ain't even fixed it.
I mean, I wasn't going to
go. You was going. So no, I gotta redo that whole
get
tape.
your thought out.
So now we got Kendrick as the representation of the Black American spirit instead of the Drakes, instead of all the rest of these low hanging rappers that act like the streets is the only thing that exists in their life, and lean and drugs smoke and crack smoking. You feel me? Because the way they talk about lean, they might as well be crackheads. And like that's the only representation. I've been talking about this. So when I hear like, oh, they in China and Mexico and France listening to Kendrick, and they bobbing that, and they listening to that, and they seen that representation on the Super Bowl, instead of saying that, oh, Super Bowl, you got Donald Trump there, you know what I'm saying? Or you would have just had a regular performance of some ignorant entertainment that would have represented Black Americans in this pivotal time. Now get this. This is one of the most pivotal times.
Let me shout out Kendrick Lamar.
You feel me?
Using his Black influence and his power for something righteous, especially when he got on the Super Bowl.
Right.
And first thing he said was what? The revolution.
I seen Diddy commenting on this, and he was saying that he didn't live up to the promise of the revolution being televised. And I think the woman that was with him had some great commentary. She seemed very intelligent. I believe she was a writer. I think you gotta, it's an interesting thing, because this idea of revolution has become crash out culture, right? That most people think that revolution looks like crashing out.
And pause, because that was my next one.
Hold on, let me finish that.
That's why I was emphasizing, like, he used his power for greatness, because you got the other cats like Ye that'll crash out when they got the same influence and power.
Let me just.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
I didn't need like a commentary on what I was about to say.
You interrupt me a lot.
Like, no, I don't. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Get your minutes in. You feel me? But no, I think that people. I seen Diddy commenting on this, and he was saying revolution be televised. That statement didn't get lived up to. But I disagree. I think that people think revolution is crashing out. Revolution is evolution, right? Revolution is cycles. It's taking us into a new cycle of things. You know what I mean? Evolving of things. And so for me, I think what Kendrick Lamar did, it was a very powerful revolution. You can say it's sponsored symbolism and things of that nature, right? But everybody doesn't use their opportunities the same way, right? When other people got that stage, nobody else got that stage and utilize it like that. It was sponsored as well. You feel me? It's actually even more powerful to take their money and then do something positive to the culture, because we never get to utilize their money. They always utilizing our money because we consume so much. But he took that on a stage and he highlighted, number one, regional West Coast culture. Then the highlight of Black American culture. Let's just say American. Specifically, this is American culture. You know what I'm saying? So there were so many different elements and nuances in that one can see, and there's a lot of breakdowns, right? I did a tweet, is Kendrick really that deep? And the tweet is just to evoke the thought, lyrics really go that deep, or is that what he really means? Because people analyze it a lot. And the thing about it is that when it sparks the question, you either say yes or no, right? You can't say a no, because whether you think that everything he does is intentional doesn't matter. What matters is that it makes people think. And in a time where people are massively distracted, right, where everything is mostly low-level gossip, memeism, he's making people think. He has a generation that is dissecting and researching and investigating and decoding, which is activating that neocortex, that higher reasoning ability. When you're doing that, you're out the matrix, right? When you got a person thinking, they're seeing the world. They're not just going, oh, this is some vibe music, vibe music, vibe music. No, he say, stop, think, what's this? Is there layers to it? Does this mean something? So to have content that makes the world think, that's high level, right? And so the beauty of it is that he is creating not just moments and creating music, and he's turning it into a thinking revolution, right? Because the way you free us today is we don't need crash out. We need to think. You feel me? That's it. That's all we need to do. Because when we start to think, we become aware of the reality, how much power we have, what we need to share with each other, communication we need to have, what is our true history, right? Who we are in this place. That's when we activate it in God mode. So I think what Kendrick Lamar does is very powerful, right? And he's utilizing his platform, I think, in a perfect manner. The question becomes is, who else can do it alongside him? Because what we often do is when we find one person doing one thing, we need them to do everything, so it decreases appreciation of what they're doing, and then it turns into expectation to do more. You feel me? And so I don't like that, but it's like, no, he, like you said, he's doing his part. So yeah, now everybody else step up. You feel me? Like,
because you can't do it by yourself.
No, and don't get me wrong. I love all different kind of music. I was thinking about that when I was in Oakland, and we was listening to, we listened to some hyphy music. I grew up on the Jacka. You feel me? One of my favorites of all time. You feel me? But I'm also listening to Mr. Fab. He was there, not Mr. Fab, but shout out to Mr. Fab this weekend. But Fabulous was in there. He had all his hits playing, and I'm in there just vibing, knowing them word for word and things of that nature. A lot of stuff they playing, I know word for word. We in there vibing, we turned up. But the point of it is that this music, for me as a high level individual, you know what I mean? It's more of it's just a feeling and nostalgia. You know what I mean? It has no influence on my life whatsoever. Right? And there's a time and a place in which I listen to that. It's not all the time, because sometimes I need to think, and anything that takes me away from thinking is my enemy. When I need to vibe, I vibe. The problem with hip hop is like a pie chart, and if 90% of it is vibe music, then there's no thinking. So we can't have just 10% or 1%, right? It's music that actually elevates you, right, and activates your consciousness.
I think you broke it down perfectly. I forgot what you said it, but a lot of artists don't make music that represents the time. And we're going through a shift right now. Even with Drake just putting out his last project.
What you think about it?
I felt like he had a couple of good songs on it. I don't feel like it's a classic at all.
What's that one?
And he like I said, it was for Valentine's Day. For what he wanted to do, I feel like he accomplished that. If he put out a love record for specifically for Valentine's Day for women, I feel like he accomplished
that. But that's a single.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't put out a whole album for a day.
I mean, but it's for some love shit.
Right, but you put out a single for a day, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Right,
to hit that day, to capture that. That's like, you know what I mean? But you can't put out a whole album for a day. Now, he got those two, he got the song Nokia. I couldn't listen to that one.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I think that song was gay.
But what I can say with both of them artists.
Now, wait a minute. Wait. Because I think it's some good background music for some of them and some vibers. You feel me? I just think that song, it was too much vibing going on. It was too much voguing and stuff. I don't know. That's like Pride Parade music. You feel me? I just want to say that. But then he has some hits on it. What's the one where he was calling out? Give me a hug. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, he basically saying like, man,
I think
about the party dead, man.
I think that was a funny lean in song about everything. Give me a hug, give me a hug. I think that was funny.
Speaking of Weeknd, I feel like the Weeknd put out
we didn't say nothing about the Weeknd
this weekend. I thought you just said
no. You just threw his option there.
Weeknd just had.
Let's finish the album review. You feel me? So look, you know how I judge albums. I judge albums based on what you tried to do, if you did that, right? So the whole entire idea of this album is just vibes, some sexy vibes, so-called, right? You know what I mean? Some for the ladies or guys who like ladies. This is how they was like positioning and things of that nature. What I didn't like was the context and conversation around this album because it felt like it was just a Kendrick versus Drake thing. If you're on Drake's side, you gotta love it. If you're on Kendrick's side, you gotta hate it, right? And it has to be this polarizing conversation versus music is personal. You go in there and you enjoy it. And there's no politics involved in music, right?
That's what I...
The album wasn't meant to be a part of the battle. Now, he did take some shots in that, so therefore it does bring the conflict back into it. Talking about nobody want to twerk the dictionaries. You know what I'm saying? Which is slightly funny. You feel me? But I think it discredits him because the reality of it is a lot of women be turned up to Kendrick Lamar songs. And they enjoy him, obviously, because the man is a streaming giant right now. And he got number ones. So I think that what he's doing, again, is consistently trying to diminish this idea of Kendrick Lamar. And I think it's backfiring because Kendrick Lamar is not hot because of Drake. He's already been Kendrick Lamar. You feel me? He's already been a top streaming artist, and that's without dropping. Kendrick Lamar drops art and then tells you to appreciate it. It's different.
Now, that's what I want to say. I feel like both of these guys are good artists. They both put out good music. And I hope that moving forward after the Super Bowl and him performing and Drake dropping his album, that we quit hearing about the Drake versus Kendrick shit. Like, I'm done. I'm beyond that. It's time for everybody else to follow up like, we need more artists to drop more music like Kendrick. If that's what we on the thinking thing. Let them do that.
The thinking thing.
And just keep it going.
First of all, relax. There ain't no thinking thing.
I'm serious.
It's just, you know what, mixtape era. I remember when artists would just make music that they were just feeling, right? This was on my mind. I want to rap about it. I like this beat. I want to rap. When it became pure business, that's when the quality of music just sunk. It just went all the way to the floor. You feel me? And even during the whole entire Drake era, a lot of music sucked because people was like, I need to make this music that fits into this time versus what they actually feeling, being experimental. This is why you get 103,000 and he like, I can't do music. Because why would I put my heart and soul into making real art, right? But they're saying because this is not what people are buying, well, we're not going to push this. Right? Or because they made music that was experimental. It was different. It cut through. When Kanye West made music, it always cut through. It was something different. He giving us a whole new genre. They stopped doing that. Drake started tapping into genres that was already pre-existing, right? It was always safe, if you will. So I miss when music was experimental and it was different and we had to get used to it. Like, ooh, this different. Like Kanye West had to get used to. You feel me? You hear good morning, like, okay, this is different. You feel me? Pink polos and all that stuff. You ain't like it at first, and then he built the world around it. So I think that when music gets back to having original sounds that represent the artist and not represent just what is the industry, I think that's when we have better quality of music. And we have to stop, and I'm gonna say this forever, stop grading the music based on sales. It means nothing. Yeah,
that should mean nothing.
You know what I'm saying? And that was the beauty of mixtape era. We didn't give a damn how many downloads the sales had. We were just judging it based on whether we liked it or not. Yeah. You feel me? Whether it was vibe. Somebody had dropped something, we said, how much it sell? Let me see if I like it. What the hell does that matter? I'm not getting paid off that. If I got paid off of it, yeah, we can judge sales. But as a listener, you don't even know how to enjoy quality music because you're not doing it based on your own experience. You're going on Twitter to see what other people think about it. You're looking at the charts to see if it's hot or not. You feel me? You're looking at your latest blogger to see what they think about it. You're not even having an enjoyed experience with the music on how it makes you feel.
So I got my last two topics, and I feel like
And that's why it's tough for me to put out the album. I have to make sure I curate it the right way.
What you waiting on though? Like,
I don't know. We gotta get some things clear. We got some verses we need to put on there still. You feel me? I need to get just putting together the construct of the album. You feel me? I want it to be storytelling. I want you to feel
I got a
the
real
vibe,
quick.
huh? Visuals, the whole
I
nine.
got it real quick. Am I gonna make the album? That's all. I just want to know that. At least get the people that. He done got quiet. It is crazy, man. I don't even know. It don't matter. Just make sure y'all go and support my brother whenever he drop.
No,
If
look.
he drop.
All right. So the thing is this.
Come on, man.
I think you might have a shot. Shot in hell.
Now I got
No, you gonna be on the album. Stop playing.
No. But on some real shit, I feel like the last two topics that I'm bringing up, it's like a necessary conversation, even though some people might view it as a low-level conversation. But I feel like it's necessary for the culture that I bring up these last two topics. And since we was already talking about Ye, let's keep talking about him real quick. How did you feel about him doing the partnership with P. Diddy and relaunching Sean John and the Ye collab?
I don't really have any feelings about it, to be honest with you. Kanye West is an interesting fella. I think Kanye West is a person that get all of the best advice in the world and decides to do whatever the hell he wants to regardless. You know what I'm saying? I think he's somebody that has an idea of freedom. And his idea of freedom, number one, is doing whatever the hell he wants to with nobody telling him what he can and cannot do. He's always had this extremely rebellious spirit, and it's not based on, I would say, ethical or moral guidance. It's just the will to be free and powerful.
He has no strategy, basically.
I ain't even gonna say it's not even about, I think his strategy is no strategy in a sense. Like, some people, they operate in flow, right? They operate in freestyle. Like, I'm going to do this, right? And as long as I'm able to continue to be in this flow and to be free and make these decisions and have impact, that's my strategy. Because Kanye West operates with memeism. You feel me? Just like Elon Musk, just like Donald Trump. These are guys he's in connection with, that he's known. He has personal numbers, right, ties to. He look at the era of who are the elites, who are the kings of attention, right? Whether it's Drake, whether it's Kendrick at the time. And number one, he studies. And he said, this is what these guys have to do. Why is my name not being mentioned with the rest of the kings? What are the other kings doing? Elon is king. He dropping memes. He's polarizing, right? He's dog whistling to the white supremacists. Well, shit, I'm a dog whistle. What is the thing that I can't do? I'm going to do that thing. Once I do that thing, I'm then going to attach this easy attention that I just got, right? Instead of spending billions on marketing, millions on marketing, you telling me I can just talk about my ops and then people will buy my clothes? I'm going to do that. I consider that to be a hack. You know what I'm saying? With Kanye West, again, I don't think that he cares about people in the sense that he thinks of himself as elite and above everybody else. He speaks a lot of truth. And the truth that he speaks, I'm aligned with, right? And one can say you need a Kanye West in the world. You need somebody who shows people the blatant aspects of power when you go against power. He's going against them folks. And he's saying whatever he wants to, right, about everybody for the most part. But he's saying the only reason I'm getting in trouble is because of them. He's mixing truth. He's mixing BS. He's got his wife out there wilding. Attention.
Seeking attention.
The only thing is, I don't see Kanye West doing anything revolutionary anymore. You know what I mean? Not in the sense of like, for my revolutionary ideas, like building things now, right? Ownership. You feel me? He had the school. You feel me? He still owns his IP and things of that nature. He said he has land to build out a city. I would love to see that done. But it seems to be more crash out, you feel me, than build up. And for me, the crash out not worth anything because I don't see where that produces progress, right? I don't see where he going through his tirade, he was giving promotion to comedians. not people that's out here doing things in the world.
Right.
You have this platform to where you can give promotion to anybody, but why? Because he can connect his name to other names, to algorithm hack. You feel me? Let me connect to Charleston White and Andrew Tate and Elon Musk and Drake and Kendrick Lamar. That's just algo hacking. You feel me? That's not substance in the sense that let me take a person that never would get this attention, give them that attention, right? And that's almost my way of funding them. So now this is an unintended group of influence that normally would have not gotten this attention, right? That's strategy if you want to be a disruptor. Then you take people that's from the bottom, right, that normally would not have this power, influence, and platform, and you give them the attention, and you become a king maker. Right? You want to be a king. What's the point of being a king? Make other kings. Yeah. That is what I would respect from an artist that have a platform like that. We, for the most part, those who are in the know and those who care to be in the know, we know what's wrong with the world. We know who those are that run things and that control things. We honestly, at this point in time, don't need more information on it. We need parallel worlds built out that decreases their power, increases ours. When I talk about Robert L. Smith, when he gave away all that money to those students, okay, that's one way to do it. He had that strategy, right? That was good PR for him. But somebody that's worth $10 billion, honestly, we should expect more. And not even about what he did. It was the fact that if we would have thought another layer, right? And as a YZer, man, as an advisor, I think about that and say, what if he would have said that I'm going to give this to all the students that studying data analysts, that studying engineer, that's in the tech, right, and in the fields of the future. So therefore, he could incentivize, right, a whole generation, right, of graduates to be in these fields that would be the most high demand that we can utilize to build our worlds. You feel me? Now, I don't know all his information. Maybe he's doing things like that. But these are ideas because when you take that moment in time and when people talk about it, they're going to be like, man, I wish I was in that field. But why did he do that? Right? There you have a platform to be like, the reason I did that because here's where we're going in the next 10 to 20 years. This is what you should get into. Yeah. So I think that when I see people of higher up, when the only time they help anybody is because they go get more from it than you will.
Now, I know you big on symbolism, right? And I love how you just gave me that long answer without answering my original question.
What was your original question?
I really asked you. No, I really asked you specifically. What did you think about that collab?
I specifically said.
I know, but you like breezed over it. But
I didn't breeze over it. Listen.
But look, when it comes to symbolism, though, right? With him doing that collab, right? What do you think that represents on the major scale?
Nothing.
On the macro scale?
Nothing. I don't think it did nothing. I don't think it represents nothing. I don't think it is nothing. Again, I'm symbolism without substance means nothing. I think that the reality of it is, I think what Kanye West does and what I do is two different things. Again, I'm not the one to go bash Kanye West. That's on him, right? If he wants to use his power and his influence in that particular manner, that's what he sees as importance. Maybe that's what he sees as a fight, right? That's his thing. But to me, it means nothing, right? Just personally and my mission in life, it has zero effect on me and the larger scale of black people. He's selling Sean John shirts to white kids that like this provocation. You feel me? I think that if people want to buy it, wear it. Who cares, right? I think that what he did say about the fact that Diddy going through his case and people not being able to speak on it whatsoever, to where it's like when one nigga get in trouble, everybody hide and act like they never knew you. I don't like that culture. You know what I mean? Nor do I respect it. You feel me? Because it creates this thing to where exactly what they want to happen happens every single time. You get in trouble, now that's a warning. Nobody else do this again. When Jay-Z just beat this case, you know what I'm saying? The whole culture was trying to bring him down. That's sick. No, I'm never for the downfall and the destruction of any black man. Why? It's because we have a field, right? And we can't afford to have pieces off the field when we need them. They don't get to decide when our pieces go. We supposed to decide when those pieces go. We supposed to decide when we say that's enough of what you did, we take you out. Anytime they're doing it, it's not our power. You You know what I'm saying? If they take Jay-Z out, if they take Diddy out, that's not your power. That's their move. Then ask why did they do that for them? Because they didn't do that for you. You were emotionally manipulated at a time that they wanted to use your hatred of your own people against you when they want to have power, right? So shout out to Jay-Z and ASAP for beating their case. You know what I'm saying? And no, do I believe all the stuff that Diddy did? No. I was talking to a lot of people. I was talking to somebody the other day, say, man, this person said, I don't like Diddy at all. And they on document speaking about, they know Diddy, right? Like personally, and they be on platforms talking why they don't like him. But they said, I don't think he did the thing that they saying he did because they knew him personally. And I'm talking about people that know him.
Right.
So what you get though is like, damn. And I was surprised to hear that from bruh. He's saying this. Then you get it to where it's like, no, it ain't got nothing to do with whether he's guilty or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's where when we get caught up in the sentiment of how they play their game and we feel exactly what they want us to feel, you feel me? Then we puppets and we sheep to them that they can manipulate black culture however they want to. You feel me? So again, when Kanye West does his things, it's not really my job to scrutinize. It's not my job to decode, decipher, none of those things. I think he does his things, and all these people, they do their things outside of me. You feel me? All these so-called leaders, all these influencers, all these organizations, they never reach out to me. So I just take it upon myself to say that if we're not building together, then we don't share anything in common. You feel me? If I'm not getting resources of power, you know what I mean, to help execute my ideas and visions into the world, then it don't mean nothing to me at all because we're different tribes. You go to Africa, it's all different tribes. You feel me? In America, it's all different tribes. We don't all agree the same, right? I don't get invited to NAACP dinners. So what they doing don't matter because what they saying is what I'm doing don't matter. You feel me? They know of, but they won't work with, right? So I work with those who work with me and I'm more interested to magnify the things of people that I see doing things that I'm connected to. You feel me? So I think there's an opportunity for us to come together. And if I can't say something about you in the sense to where I'm not being disrespectful, I do very constructive criticism sometimes and critical analysis of people. You should be able to work with me directly after that. If we that emotional where a person can't say nothing, I don't want to rock with you anyway because you're a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? If somebody say something about me, I'm not taking that emotional, I don't hate this person, I never want to talk to you again. That's that emotional weird stuff that we do in a culture white men don't do. Elon Musk and Donald Trump were just enemies, now they're making billions together. You know what I'm saying? He said this man Elon will get on his knees and do whatever I said he wanted him to do. He tweeted that out after he done visited this man. Now, Elon is the Doge.
This man,
you know what I'm saying? He's the unelected ruler of America.
He basically looked like the vice president.
And they all working together because, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the white man knows how to work together in a collective manner without making excuses. And so we have to get over this emotional thing. He said something about me. It's the weakest, babyish, sucker shit on the planet.
I love that you said that because like I said, my last topic was, of course, you know, we see that Big Meech finally came home from jail. And I know a lot of people been saying him and 50 do they back and forth. Now, but the real question is...
Only thing I will say as a caveat to that, when people lie on your name without addressing and fixing it, they're your enemy.
That's valid. But the big question for me when it comes to the Big Meech situation, right? It's 2025. As a black culture, why do we still put drug dealers on the pedestal, man, and glorify their whole lifestyle?
Well, you wanted to go to the concert.
Nah, I ain't never want to go to the concert. First off, I'm banned from Miami.
You asked me if I would go speak there.
I'm banned from Miami.
You asked me if I was going to speak there, and I told you no.
Yeah.
And you tried to...
Nah, I actually told you no. I say, man, when you go in the club, they don't want to read the dictionary and shit in the club, bro. Don't do it.
Actually, I didn't go to the club and pass out dictionaries.
I believe you.
I'm pass out stock books.
Nah, but for real though, as a black culture specifically, bro, we real life still glorifying drug dealers while everything is under surveillance and shit. You can't be a kingpin.
First of all, I want to say this. It's not we. It's just the niggas who do it. That ain't everybody. Everybody ain't going to Big C, Big Meech. Everybody don't care. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm kind of glad this shit got
if they
canceled.
was going to go, they was going to see their favorite rapper. That was it. People don't care. We just magnify. This again goes back to platform. We made it a thing, but people don't care. The average person walking down the street don't give a damn. We take our platforms and we magnify things that don't matter, and then we talk about them as if they do. When honestly, we don't care. You feel me? So we're not actually really magnifying. What you're saying is, why are these 10 performers going? One performer was going because the other person was going, the other person was going, the other person was going. You feel me? I grew up, you feel me, during that era where you see what was going on with BMF and things of that nature. Era comes, era goes, right? There's nothing to highlight. There is no legacy. What could be a legacy? And when OGs like that get out, the only legacy they should leave, right, is the restoration of the communities that they broke, right? Teaching the minds how not to go back in the cycle, right? De-glorifying these things. If that ain't your legacy, then you a sucker. If you come out and do all that time and your legacy is to not destroy the mindset that got you in there, that broke up your family, that broke up homes, that killed so many people, that destroyed lives, that took lives.
Thanks.
And if you're not trying to change that karma, you don't have a foundation set in your name to say, you know what? I want to make sure I go out there and change the minds. If you still trying to glorify that, then you ain't learned shit. You was a sucker the whole time you was in there.
It's two types of people, man. It's people that get out of jail, come home anxious, and there's guys that come home from prison that come home focused.
Right.
And if you ain't come home focused,
I would love to see, you know, I would invite Big Meech on the platform and have that conversation. You feel me? Because we have to demystify these things as to be over glorified. But at the same time, you know, the whole thing with 50, the one made the shit hot. He made the show about it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really, he would have came out without that show. You don't get the same, nobody even cares.
Right.
He made it hot. You feel me? He took the man's son, put him in acting classes, and built up a whole entire world around it so that he could capitalize and benefit off of it. When he could no longer capitalize and benefit off of it because it did not serve him based on the way he moved, then he destroyed it. He built it up, he brought it down. That's the way the game goes. That's just capitalism. You feel me? We have to stop confusing culture for capitalism. That's just business. When somebody makes a song, it's not culture. That's a product. They made a product to sell. When you make a song that cuts through, that has a message, that has a meaning, that has value, that has rhythm for the culture, and I ain't saying it always got to be something. You feel me? But like, think about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, everything he did was culture. Everything ain't have a message in it. Sometimes it's just Dirty Diana. But it's the right kind of vibes. You feel me? That's different. And the thing about a lot of people is they don't know how to add in the candy and the medicine. All they got is candy.
Right.
You feel me? So all they serving is suckers. So the goal is, how do you switch that up? And it's like, bro, have some goddamn, how you just gonna do everything is just negative? Like, I would hope that Young Thug gets out as he's out and he makes something meaningful. He go vibe. I know he go vibe. But you've been through jail. You've been through hell. You faced the system. You had your gang break up. You know what I'm saying? You faced betrayal. You feel me? Like, you was away from your girl the whole entire time. You feel me? You had people crying and fighting for you on the outside. What was going through your mind that you can share with us that can be a jewel for somebody else to not go through that?
Facts.
You feel me?
Facts.
So it has to have a new meaning, because I don't know, what did he say slime meant? Something, but all those things that you were saying in the courtroom about it, let that be real now. You feel me? Like, it's okay to have medicine and candy. You can't just serve children candy. Where's the goddamn medicine? Sometimes you can turn the candy into the medicine. So if it's not that, it's whack. If the rappers is over 40 and they ain't making nothing meaningful, they whack. You know what I mean? Nobody
being over 40 still talking about sipping lean is crazy.
Really, really. At no age you talking about sipping lean is cool. There is no age. There's no
over 40. Like, come on.
No, there's no. Let's be clear. It ain't. It's no age to be a drug addict. That's cool.
Yeah.
When we was young, growing up, it was no age being a drug addict. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cats that we know that done died, that done OD for this shit. It ain't no day in life being a drug addict is cool. You feel me? It's none. So I don't care who you are, what you doing. You just doing something that's on some real low life, you feel me, shit. Even when we did it, we recovered, we got from it, but to glorify it, that's the problem is that, you know, in life, you get to have lessons. When you broke, it is a lesson on poverty. You know what I'm saying? When you broke, it is a lesson on poverty and wealth. Yeah. When you lose, it is a lesson on how to sustain and maintain that which you lost. You know what I mean? When you have anxiety, it is a lesson on anxiety and how to learn from that to get to a place of peace. You feel me? When you have conflict, it is a lesson on resolution. You feel me? When you hungry, it is a lesson on hunting. Everything in life is supposed to be a lesson that graduates you. The problem is that we glorify the suffering without learning to get out the condition. So therefore, hip hop creates and perpetuates the cycle without the learning. You feel me? When somebody talks about the pain they went through because their homeboy died, that's learning a lesson and going through it. When Lamar talks about the 16 angels he said he lost, that's a lesson learned to say, I don't want to go through that again, man. I done seen the hurt. He talks about the ADHD generation. That's a lesson. You feel me? Like, let's get past this and get to something else. So it can't be the liar Conan mentality continuing to be perpetuated through these record labels saying that, well, we want to make money for our family, but damn yours. I seen L.A. Reid talking about the boutique, the black boutique record labels, right? Underrepresented at the Grammys. Well, here's the thing. Black don't matter if it ain't godly. If what you're doing ain't godly, I don't care if you the blackest motherfucker on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to mean something. I seen Gilly talking about losing his son, grown man crying in tears. I can't listen to that and then go celebrate the culture that influences that. That's deaf culture. Like, we have to stop celebrating black devils because most of these niggas we listen to are black devils. If you ain't a god, you a devil. It's just straight up. Or a demon working for a devil, which is even lower. So most of the music these niggas make, they just black devils. So anytime it's a black devil, I don't care if the nigga is rich and successful. He don't mean shit to me. That's not my brother.
I stand by that statement, and you know we coming to the closure.
Hold on, I just want to say the reason I say that, bro, because we in some heavy times. You know what I'm saying? I just got two brothers that just got out of prison. I see the hurt in their eyes. I see the pain. You know what I'm saying? We go through so much, and we keep going through the same thing because we celebrate the things that got us there in the first place. You feel me? And it's like, I want to see the cycle ended. But how we go fight in administration, how we go through these global changes, shifts in the world, technology, goddamn, the France and China talking about fusion power and Microsoft creating quantum machines, and we got AI, and we ain't got black organizations that celebrating futurism and cosmism and dedication to technological advancements and shifts on the planet Earth and decentralizing and creating parallel networks. And we don't see people that's standing up to do it and building those brands and getting behind them. None of that other shit matters to me because we only got a short amount of window to get our shit right, and they should not give us nothing. If we ain't willing to do that and work with each other, leadership has to happen at the top, not the bottom first. At this point in time, because if the leaders can't get together who have influence over the people, then how the hell how you go get in front of the people and say we ain't got no unity? Well, nigga, the church ain't working with the nation. The caucus and the NBA and all these organizations I keep mentioning, y'all ain't working together. So how you say you love the people and you want to be united and ain't none of y'all working together, and we got too much Afrocentric symbolism without actual ownership. That's the civil rights era messed up our mind. The integration era messed up our mind. And I think a lot of them had a really good, passionate heart about it. But we seen what that experiment called integration got us. And it's the current reality we fighting to break free from. So yeah, we ain't got that much time. And you know, fighting for people that ain't fighting for themselves is a losing battle. So I want to fight for people that's fighting for themselves. You know what I mean? I want to fight for the winners, not the losers. We are warriors. We come from a place of pride and victory and power because that's who our ancestors was. And we ain't got that much time, damn it, to keep goddamn sitting around and acting like the world ain't shifting and changing, because these white men are very smart, and I respect the fact that they going out there building their own and saying that we gonna do this for our people. I disrespect the fact that we got so many black men with power and money and influence, but they scared to death. Straight up.
I like that, bro. I mean, I had a few of my people get out the feds last week, right? And you know what I see, what the problem is, when niggas be coming home after doing all that time, they get to posting all their old pictures, which put them back in the mind frame of what they was doing before they went to jail, because they still want to keep up with what's going on right now. But like you said, we going through a shift. We need to be worried about the future.
None of that old shit matters.
That old shit dead. Reminiscing is dead.
And they gotta, and I know that's all you got to hold on to, but none of that was an accomplishment. None of that was impressive. None of that was success. None of that even matters. And if you ain't willing to let go of that old world, you feel me, to go into a new one, you feel me, then you're not worth nothing to your people. Yeah. Right? And that's the thing we got to get, like, we need a new mind, a group thinking, and to use these tools. The most brilliant people, like, shout out to the engineers, right? Shout out to the technologists out here. Shout out to the data analysts. Shout out to the project managers. Shout out to the scientists and the doctors and the farmers. You feel me? Shout out to the brilliant minds that exist. That's our culture, straight up. When we got to stop acting like education ain't our culture, and this is sick. Because when you hear a line, women don't want to twerk to the dictionary, shut that stupid shit up. The reality of it is that education is our culture. Being smart is our culture. That dumb shit ain't our culture. Right. You feel me? That's the shit that the devil try to turn this into so we don't become greater than them. They want to, when you got somebody intelligent, the reason they don't want an intelligent person in the group, like a Jalen Brown, when you get a Stephen A. Smith big-headed ass talking about he ain't marketable, that's a good thing. Marketable means that you fit into this safe thing that the corporate makes you into. You feel me? That you are this hype machine that they make you into, and you are a packaged product instead of being a man. When you see the man that's standing in the NBA, man, them is the warrior class. They standing over 6 to 7 feet tall. You feel me? And now imagine if they got intellect as well. Them the ones I seen the brothers giving a breakdown. He say, man, think about that in ancient society. A brother coming out his house 7 feet tall, everybody looking up to him. He automatically a leader. He going to war. They all looking at him. You feel me? But they got all our warriors playing their sport, right? And they don't want them to use their money, right? And have knowledge and actually utilize it in a way that benefit their people. They are natural leaders. You have the framework of a leader, naturally. You're not supposed to be managed by no other man. You're not supposed to be afraid of no other man. Oh, I can't do this because these people don't want me to do this. That does not make you a man. There's no amount of playing ball, football, soccer, nothing, unless you make decisions that benefit your people. And it has nothing to do with anybody else likes. You feel me? Like, we don't have time to waste no more. I'm like, we got two years, the world shifts, and we're going through the Reconstruction Era of America. So it has to be a reconstruction of our America. Right. And it has to be built off the ancestral intelligence and blueprints and modernization into our time as the most efficient ways to get things done. So no, you're going to have to miss me with all that being friendly, with me caring about y'all strategy. I don't think it worked. I don't think it will work. You feel me? And so if we go stay in silos and not communicate, which I see those breaking down, I actually do. I see the beauty that happens behind the scenes. I'm speaking this because this is what's on my heart. And I just hate the fact that we so afraid to support the ones with the real solutions. But the people that have symbolic gestures that make it feel good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was a moment that made us feel good. We making progress. There was no announcement that we just made a city. There was no announcements that we own new businesses and we own farms across America. There's no announcements like that. Oh, but he a billionaire. So?
Fact.
What's the progress? Where's the ownership? Who cares? They just put out a list of the 22 billionaires. And my question is, okay, what's their vision? What's their vision?
What's the collective vision?
What's their vision? You probably couldn't tell me what none of these people believe in. You can't tell me who their God is. You can't tell me what their blueprints are, what they plans. I'm sure some of them have it, but without the vision, the people will perish because we led blindly. And so these are the things, if we having a man-to-man conversation, that's what I want to talk about. I enjoy the cultural talk, but we have to elevate what is cultural talk, because we think low-level conversation is culture talk, right? What that means, because we think our culture is low level. You know what I'm saying? If we talking about science and we say that's culture talk, well, we consider mathematics Asian culture talk. You know what I'm saying? How come that's not art? That's God body culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to elevate what is culture. So now when we create events, that's a cultural event. You know what I'm saying? Science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, consciousness. That's culture.
Oh,
we gotta
all
talk
about
about
All-Star. See, for All-Star, I ain't.
You wasn't there, okay.
I had got sick.
All right, so we can end it off on a freestyle talk then.
Yeah.
Because listen, I ran into Too Short, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Short. And he was like, man, that had to be. He said, I know Sway said that's top 5 all time. Ever. In history. He was like, man, that was different. He said, man, the way you be spitting and dropping that game, man, even make me want to change, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? And shout out to Short. I know he just lost a brother, so I know he was there, you feel me, moving with that on his mind. And I seen him a couple times. He was with my brother Richie Rich, man, good dude. We gonna have a conversation and sit down.
Yeah.
You feel me? I ran into Beast Mode and Mr. Beast. I ran into Mr. Fab and Fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Wallow, Gilly, Katie, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I introed Jaylen Brown for his honorary award that he was receiving.
You to the guy that actually got you into hip hop.
Who you talking to, bro? DLC. Shout out to them. No, he was. I'm gonna be honest with you. He was very excited when he seen me, and that was gangster, because he had just seen the freestyle and the sway. So when I seen him, you feel me? He's like, oh man, what's going on? I just was like, blah 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 blah. We had the 4 seasons. He was like, bro, we gotta take a picture, and it threw me off because he was excited as hell. You feel me? And I'm like, bro, you a legend. You a legend. You feel me? So that was major love and things of that nature. We went to the game when Mr. Beast was. He had this kid that was doing a $100,000 shot contest against Stephen Curry. Now this in the hood. This at McClymonds High School. You feel me? At Mac, they was unveiling a new court. And of course, the kid went up there. Now, Stephen Curry he get a certain amount of shine to make shots, and the kid get double the amount of time, basically.
Right.
And if he can make more shots than Stephen Curry did, he gets 100,000. That's supposed to be their best shooter in the school. Mr. Fab said it wasn't the best shooter, but it's supposed to be their best shooter in the school. So, of course, Stephen Curry go up there, and he's splashing him up. You feel me? Best shooter in the world. Kid go up there. Got one. He probably get up there real close. You know what I'm saying? He probably got like 8 on the board. Clock is running out. He shoots it up. He loses generational money for the family. Now, it's not funny, because at the moment I started to think about it, and I was pissed off. I said, this man then goddamn came to the hood with this big old bag of money. You know what I mean? Showing all these little kids who probably ain't gonna never see goddamn $100,000, right? And he had them shoot against the best player in the world in order to win. And then they didn't get no consolation prize. Once he lost, he just left. This motherfucking white man is crazy.
So what I take from that is, save yourself. Make sure you go to 19keys.com/tour. You did.
Nah, hold on. Let me get through the rest. Because then he
damn.
keep trying to rush me, bro. What's up with bro? Sit down, bro.
God damn.
Sit down, man. Sit down. We ain't did an episode in a month. You think I ain't gonna get this off? Relax.
Man, go ahead, man.
Dang, man. I'm happy to. First of all, we set with Frederica Newton. You know what I mean? Frederica Newton.
I don't know.
Huey P. Newton wife.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? From the movement. You ever seen a picture of Huey P. Newton with his wife, man? They cold with the froze and everything. That's Frederica. She was been there in the movement the whole time. She an absolute legend. So me, Jaylen Brown, Netflix and everything, we over there. You feel me? They doing a whole tour through, giving us a breakdown. And one thing that I loved about the tour, she's explaining the intentionality of everything, but she was explaining how, you know, they got the breakfast program.
Right.
But that was one program. They had like 63 programs that they was running themselves. And of course, the government will consistently try to block what they was doing, so the people there couldn't depend on them. Yeah, and they would hijack it. So going through that tour, man, that was the super highlight of the whole trip, to be honest. You feel me? Because like just sitting hearing that history and the stories that she had of being there and how she got started and who Huey P was and you feel me, the art and how they was dressing. They was fly men back then.
He just had a birthday the other day.
Yeah. So like it was powerful. It was really dope. My brother Lanny Smith pulled up from Actively Black, you know what I mean? And I think that was like one of the bigger highlights. And you asked me about the highlights. That one I think was probably the one. You feel me? Just going through that. And then Oakland itself just don't get enough highlight. It doesn't get enough investment opportunity. They stole all our teams away. You feel me? The Raiders is gone. The Warriors is in San Francisco. You feel me? The Oakland A's, what's up with them right now? They going to Vegas. So like, that's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of money, tourism, all of that just leaves out. And then you had big tech already came in, gentrified, and then you had goddamn COVID. So like, back to back to back to back, Oakland just been going through it. So it was really good to see the city alive. People came in safe, they left safe.
Right.
That to me was the most important thing. I wanted to make sure like people, because when I want to do events in Oakland, I don't want people to hear, oh, this stuff happened. Now I don't know if I want to go out there. Like, no, I want people to feel comfortable coming in the city so it can have that revitalization.
Right.
You feel me? And shout out to my brother, Mr. Fab, because he really be holding it down out there. You feel me? Lil Russell, he did his thing out there. You feel me? It was looking good. I see E40, Sweetie out there. I ran into my brother Pilo and I Am Sue. You feel me? The whole crew. It was man, it was real Bay Area. And then everywhere I went, they were showing major love. My brother Carmelo Anthony showing major love when I seen him. You know what I'm saying? It was all high level energy. I seen my brothers from EYL. They out there doing their thing. You feel me? We went to the Meta event. Every door we walked into, they said, oh, wait a minute. Is that big guy Keith? Can you please move out the way and let the God in? And everybody like, who is this? Oh, well, you don't know. You're about to find out. So we walking in on a real God route. Everything flowed beautifully.
Now you talking
supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Saya Collector.
You feel me? You
Hold up. Hold up, man.
Hey.
My brother Saya sent me these boots. I seen Saya, man. I said, man, I seen them boots that you got the laced up. They don't even do no laces. But right here, man, I seen them. I said, I need those. He said, send me the address. And you know, you have to work on a collaboration. Man, I got it in this beautiful box. And then he sent these shoes ASAP, man. These are so magnificent, man. You take a picture of this part right here, go light up and everything, man. I've been walking around in these boots real constructive, like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like I'm walking into the future. I love to see black brands. Then, wait a minute. Then, of course, we got the 714s. You feel me? I'm going to have these. You feel me? Easy. Of course, those are Jalen Browns. This is the brand of the future. Don't ever play with them, man. You see, he got the cosmic connection in here. You feel me? Got the universe all looped in. Man, these is designed so comfortably. These are my favorite new shoes. Everywhere I'm walking and I'm talking, I'm in here. Just like that. You feel me? Can you pass me them right there? We got one more. I might as well show these too. Yeah. I had got these sent a long time ago. I never even had a chance to wear them. You feel me? So it's like all these beautiful black brands, man. Got the KIYs in here. You know what I'm saying? I love to see so many people. And then I seen Kyrie team. They supposed to be sending me the Antas. You feel me? I need them black Antas. Yeah. Shout out to what we doing out here.
We need to get us some shoes now.
That's what I'm saying. This is the parallel worlds that I talk about. You feel me? Like, this is the parallel worlds. When we talk about creating a parallel world, that's what I mean. You feel me? Like, let's build our own thing. Yeah, let's put the coffee up there, man. You feel me? That's what we need to be supporting right now. Because why? When you support them, they can hire more of us. You create more jobs, more opportunity, more generational wealth. Like, that's what it's all about, man. That's the boycott. Boycott them, boycott us, because now we're competing at a high level. You feel me? So it was a real beautiful. Shout out to my brother Kenny Burns, seeing him there, always showing great love. You feel me? Talk to I had seen Jadakiss, man, and you know Jadakiss got a coffee brand with his family, and I told him, I say, man, because I think not enough people do this, right? I say, you know that thing that you're doing with your father, and your brothers, that imagery you putting out there, the family business, you feel me, with the coffee and the working out and all of that, you feeding the culture with that. You feel me? Because that's what we need to see more of, and we need to see that amplified. You feel me? To where it makes more rappers and more entertainers and stars want to do more of that. Because a lot of times they have a heart to do it, and then it's like nobody cares. And it's like, damn, bro, I really just did this. You feel me? And people care more about ignorance, you feel me, than they do the evolution. And so when I see people, I'm gonna make sure I drop off in their ear, you feel me, some of that knowledge that lets them to keep going. Same thing I told Gilly, man, that interview he did is powerful, bro. We need more of that. We need more of that vulnerability and that realness, because it's a lot of pain behind a lot of people.
Right.
And that's what creates the shift. You feel me? So it's like, it wasn't about All-Star. I didn't really care about the game in that particular manner. I wanted to make the connections. You feel me? Going around, moving, seeing Oakland in a good light. You feel me? Connecting with the people, seeing the temperament of it all, man. It just felt right. It felt like it flowed. It didn't feel Hollywood. Nobody was playing left to us. Everybody was playing right to us. So I think that that's what it's about, man. Having, you know, culture elevated at a high level, and then, of course, just seeing Oakland elevate, and I want to see more things happen there. You feel me? Shout out to Mr. Fab and everything that he's doing in the city. My brother Dage out there. Yeah. Stuff like that, man. And my brother Simba. Shout out to my brother Simba, man. He introduced me to some great connections. You know, he always a lively, energetic individual, man, that's gonna make it happen. You feel me? So yeah, shout out to Oakland, man. Y'all did this. It was beautiful. It was really good. It was safe, and that's how the city should feel all the time. You feel me? Yeah. All the time. Because more jobs, then it becomes safer. You feel me? More money flowing through it, less crime is happening. So you want to make sure that when those things happen in the city, people feel comfortable coming into it. So, oh yeah, and I was with my brother Jesse from Trap Art, man. Major love. You feel me? That's somebody I worked with back in the day. You feel me? Every time I meet him, he got a new kid. So shout out to him.
Oh, your cousin. Yeah.
Straight up.
So season 5 of the Man to Man podcast, man. We at season 5.
Can we stay consistent? Cause you be throwing me off.
You putting this on me?
Yes, sir. No, that's on Steve.
All right, blame it on me then. All right, it's my fault that we've been busy. You know what I'm saying? Handling the other things on the team, you know what I'm saying? Getting the tour together and all of that. Because it takes time. It takes effort. You know what I'm saying? It is real time.
I like how you flipped that. That was good.
You feel me?
That was good. That's one of your best flips.
You know? But nah, for real though, season 5 for the Man to Man podcast, I want to know, let the people know what they can expect from this season versus the other seasons, and also what's something you want to implement or something you want to switch up about, you know what I'm saying, this season.
I think a consistent flow of theme throughout the episodes, you know what I'm saying? I want people to really like walk away with some tangibles each episode, a how-to or whatever it may be. The name of it is called Man to Man, so, you know, we will have real discussions, but also, let's make sure that we feeding, you know what I mean, the mindset of what a real man is. You feel me? I think that there's conversations that we need to have. Even like maybe in the next conversation we can touch on that. The vulnerability of being a man, right? I seen Wallow and Gilly both cry. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to my brother David Banner. I seen him and he talked to me about the fact that, because we was about to do a photo, and he was like, what we doing? We smiling or we serious? And I'm like, we serious. And he started dying laughing. But he then told me afterwards, he was like, man, you know, sometimes I think it's powerful to smile because that's exactly what they want to take away from us. You know, it's
funny that you said it because Sway did us the same way. Oh, yeah. When we was at the Sway interview. And he was like, shit, nah, I'm with the guys, bro, right now. He say, I want to smile. Let's smile real because, you know, I don't really smile, man. You know, I'm a serious one.
I'm more like, what's Black Dynamite? I am smiling.
All right, man.
You got to put one of them little things on that. I am smiling. You don't get it, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're too young for that. Nah, but for real. So in that context, like I want to make sure that we addressing stigmas, psychological things that deal, you feel me, with being a man in society and today. Because I think that's to a large degree our audience, and I think that benefits our women audience as well that watch.
Did you overcome that one stigma?
Well, being the greatest alive, yeah. You know what know
Nah,
what I'm
not
saying? I
that
got
one, but
used
we'll
to
talk
it.
about it on the next episode. Make sure you tune in to the next episode of the Man to Man podcast.
This guy. This guy. Welcome to the Man to